So Tom has shown us the power of self-service mapping, how others in our organization can be empowered through ArcGIS Online to accomplish their own work. He's also shown us how easy it is to take data and transform that into much more meaningful information. But there's more. ArcGIS Online enables us to put mapping into everybody's office. And that's done using a brand new part of ArcGIS Online called Esri Maps for Office. Now, this was just released a couple of days ago, and I'm sure when you see it, you'll understand how it can change the way that we work by extending the reach of GIS into other parts of our organization. To provide the grand tour of Esri Maps for Office, please welcome Nathan Bennett.
Thanks, Bernie. Imagine I'm a spreadsheet user. Here's a spreadsheet of highway construction projects by funding. So, where are funds being spent? It's pretty hard to tell looking at all this information in rows and columns. Now, we know a map is a much better way to answer a question like this. So what are our options? Well, Tom just showed us how we can map a table in the browser. It's a good option. And there's always ArcGIS for desktop. ArcMap, after all, is the best mapping tool out there for GIS users. But what about everyone else? There should be an easier way. In an ideal world, someone could map their spreadsheet right inside Excel. This is Esri Maps for Office, a new ribbon group added to Excel full of tools to help you map your spreadsheets. Imagine if you could put a focused mapping tool like this in the hands of all your Excel users. Well, now you can, because this is part of ArcGIS Online. Let me show you just how easy it is to map your spreadsheets in Excel. Here's another view of highway projects, this time by expense. Now in Excel, adding a map is as easy as adding a chart. Now, most spreadsheets contain some sort of location information, and you can take advantage of the addresses, the coordinates, and the places that already exist in your data. So here the projects have been added to the map, and they're being represented with a technique called clustering, which is a really smart way to work with dense data. Projects close together are snapped and represented by a single symbol. Heat maps are also great for dense data and can be added right from the ribbon. Now, it's really that easy to map your spreadsheets in Excel, but we can do more. Seeing the individual locations of projects is helpful for understanding where construction is happening. But how does expense vary across the state? Well, because each project is tagged with its UDOT region, we can use Excel to aggregate this information in a pivot table. You can join your data to common geographies like country, state, and postal code right out of the box. But users can also add their own locations, their own custom geographies, like in this case, UDOT regions. And once the regions are added to the map, they can be symbolized with a single color or with a color ramp. So now that we have our regions added to the map, we can see that region 3 in the center of the state has the highest level of expense. Now, there's a lot of Utah data already shared on ArcGIS Online, and Excel users have access to all of it. So for example, we could search in my organization for traffic cameras. Here's a traffic camera service, and we can add it to our map. Now, traffic cameras are really relevant to construction because some of these cameras actually have a view of proposed, in progress, and completed construction projects. So in just a few moments, we were able to create a really interesting map. And because Excel is now a client to the ArcGIS system, this map can also be shared as hosted web services on ArcGIS Online and shared with the rest of the organization. Now we can also share this map in PowerPoint. So here we have PowerPoint on the left and Excel on the right. Now, like spreadsheets, most presentations can benefit from the perspective a map provides. And now in Excel, on the Esri Maps ribbon, there's a Create Slide button. With a single click, maps embedded in our existing presentations. Now, PowerPoint also has its own Esri Maps ribbon, and that lets users create slides of any map shared on ArcGIS Online. So again, we can search in my organization for an expense map that's already been published, and we can preview this map, we can configure the layers, we can quickly add a legend to provide some context for our audience, and create a map slide. So let's take a look at our finished presentation. This is a presentation about construction project expense. Here are some regional statistics, and here's a view of some projects that are happening around Utah Lake. And here's one more at a local scale. And finally, we have expense by region. Do you notice the play button? It makes this map very special. When pressed, this map transforms into a live, interactive map. Now we can explore all the highway construction projects in Utah right from our running PowerPoint presentation. This is Esri Maps for Office. Bernie?
It's remarkable, isn't it? And think about this. In a typical organization, there's not many of us GIS professionals, and there's many more Microsoft Office users. Now, all of those people can be empowered with GIS, and they can use it in familiar applications and also familiar workflows. And more importantly, they can take the maps that they make and contribute back to the organization and be a part of the ArcGIS Online ecosystem. I think this is really amazing and will be really transformational for many of us. Now, we've shown you lots of different ways to create and share maps, and all of what we've shown you has been accomplished using ready-to-use, out-of-the-box capabilities, or by using easily configurable applications that don't require programming. But ArcGIS Online is also open, and it has an API. And using that API, we can build custom applications that leverage native SDKs. Like this application I have here on my iPad. Now, as I open this application, it connects to one of the UPlan groups. You'll see it has this very interesting user interface where I can turn the pages. It's like a digital briefing book. And you'll recognize many of the same maps that we've used here today. In fact, here's the map that Tom just created a few moments ago. What's really interesting about this is that devices like the iPad and other tablets are the ways that executives stay in touch with the information that they need. This is how they stay in contact with what they need to know. And now, using ArcGIS Online and applications like you've just seen, we can deliver GIS to those that need it most. The executives and the managers that can be empowered through our work to make better and more informed decisions. So now I'd like to return control of the UPlan organization back to our good friends at UDOT, and I'd like to welcome back to our stage John Thomas.
We all remember these days. Static maps, hard to get at information, very little interaction. You all get this. And isn't it great to think about this bright future ahead of us, where all of us get to learn and understand where technologies like GIS Online can take us. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Pretty cool, huh? I should work for this guy. It's really good. What are you going to do next?
Well, the next big thing for UPlan starts next month. We get to kick off a 10-state pilot project using ArcGIS Online as a platform and build a UPlan type site for each of the 10 states. There's a tremendous amount of excitement around this.
Started in Utah.
Starting with ArcGIS Online.
So you're going to do kind of like what Jackie did for the UN, for the environmental data.
Exactly.
Just sort of share it around.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
We didn't actually practice this, so I'm a little nervous. I better let you go.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. It's great. You get kind of a sense of what's going on here, this notion that ArcGIS Online could actually open it up. It isn't something that invalidates all of the good work that you have done. It doesn't disconnect all the work that you've done. All of the desktop and server-based knowledge gets integrated through the online platform into these pervasive devices that make it a platform everywhere for everyone. So let me just conclude all of that great presentation with this. ArcGIS is a platform for your entire organization. That takes a little getting used to. It took some time for me to get used to the notion. That means it integrates with everything, like ERP, all the business systems, CAD systems, and also connects or involves everyone. That's pretty interesting, because it means it will amplify geography and let everybody play. And you, as professionals, will be the sort of center of this, making it come alive. Well, I want to conclude with a few last things. First, Esri builds something we call solution products. These are focused areas. They provide help, and this year we're doing them in the area of bathymetry. That's kind of topography under the oceans, and also some new tools for highways and roads, specifically multiple linear referencing system support, and also locational analytics and some other very cool things. Let me give you a real quick flavor of what these look like. Business analysts and community analysts are ones that have been around for a couple years, and they're growing. They're SaaS solutions, software as a service. That means the whole thing is up in the cloud being served as a service. In the case here, there's 7,000 variables in the US, and by the end of the year, we're going to amplify that for the entire world. This allows people to do mapping that may not know GIS at all, and analytics that don't know GIS at all. And it's based on this ArcGIS Online platform. Our thought here was that we would reach new audiences, but actually, in addition to that, a lot of GIS professionals are beginning to use it, not simply the apps, but also this content delivered as a service. It's really pretty cool. Similarly, location analytics, and you've seen some of this with the integration with Office, services into Office. Also, what Bernie didn't say is into SharePoint, Microsoft's distributed collaborative technology and document management tool. Last year, we also engineered the same thing into IBM's Cognos platform for business intelligence. And through partners, we've integrated ArcGIS with ERP, SAP, Salesforce, CRM, and other technologies. Again, the notion here is to engineer by design the notion that geographic information, geographic insights can be dropped into other areas of the organization. Some of these are built on services. They're delivered as services, and ArcGIS is increasingly delivered that way, providing on-demand content and functionality and infrastructure. This is not replacing your infrastructure. It's meant to complement and extend your own capabilities. Ideas about SaaS and cloud and subscriptions and hosting, well, they're a little new for you and actually, frankly, new in the industry, and especially new for us. We're feeling our way on this. And like 32 years of users conferences, I want your guidance on this so that we get it right, so that we collaboratively get the right formula. And I appreciate very much the relationship and openness that you have extended to us in doing this. We tried a little bit. My best friend Logan Hardison says, Jack, you try something for a while. If it works, then you try it some more, and if it works, then try it some more. If it fails, you back away gently. Well, that's been my life. I want to do that with you in a transparent environment so we get this right, because I think this next step for all of us is going to be pretty remarkable. What's next, actually? Well, more innovation. This fall, next spring, you're going to see the release in service packs of some really interesting tools like 64-bit desktop geoprocessing and online geoprocessing in the cloud, the ability to disconnect an app and do some editing and reconnect and have things resynchronize on all these devices, more content, the whole Digital Globe partnership that I'm very proud about, by the way, will be streaming in more content, and there'll be more templates. And then beyond that, next year, there'll be a full 64-bit desktop released with very fast display and multiple windows, something you've asked for, and an integrated app, 2D and 3D, so it's not just ArcMap and ArcScene, they'll be together. And powerful analytics and advancements in tools for geodesign. Now, I know some of you sneak out at lunch. We record this. But don't do that this year. I want you back here after lunch because we're going to actually give you something that we rarely do, a sneak peek. And Scott Morehouse himself is going to come up here with some of his engineers and give you sort of a sense of what's going on. So be back here then. Esri does more than software, as you know. We try to help you and support you in various ways with technical support and educational help. This is becoming better by our measures and yours. And the education world we're able to deliver by the miracles of the internet, classrooms in your room, into your office. And this is helping a lot of things. Professional services is continuing to deliver really remarkable work to you, to our customers, to our partners. It's good footprints. Esri Press this year came out with another dozen books or so. A couple that I want to highlight is the first one is my mentor and professor was at Harvard, Carl Steinitz, came out with the first and authoritative book on geodesign. So he's going to be signing autographs in his book in the bookstop store tomorrow. Also, Andy Mitchell is coming out with volume 3 of his spatial analysis book. Very, very useful. There's now over 100 of these books, and they're designed to basically help you, basically. Esri also has a strong partner program, and we take that seriously. We have almost 2,000 partners all over the globe. They extend our product, they help you with services, and relationships like IBM and Microsoft and Amazon have helped craft our tools so they integrate and go with the flow of current technologies. This year we're releasing, actually this week we're releasing an online partner directory so you can search through and find solutions a little more effectively. Esri is about serving you. We came to this philosophy many years ago at the very first users conference. We sort of shifted our whole notion about what we were about and what we intended to do. And it's been a really nice partnership. Our goal is to advance GIS and to proliferate spatial literacy, and we have many partners that help us do it. The business report is that we are strong and growing. This year, again, double-digit growth. It's very exciting to us. So I want to take a second and say thank you for that. Thank you for the relationship and the partnership. It speaks to the value of your work in society, and we We don't take that for granted. We take our work very seriously. We also are very interested in making a difference in many ways. The most important one is to make a difference to you so that you can make a better difference in the world, and that's how we see it. And then we also have ambitions to contribute to society, and we do that with many partnerships, special relationships like these, and thousands like them, NGOs all over the planet that we donate our software to and support to help us leverage GIS technologies for shared visions and goals. These exist in conservation, organizations like the Society for Conservation GIS, and countless other ones. Big ones like the Nature Conservancy, Friends of the Earth, Wildlife, all of it. And many of them are here. Also in education, supporting the notion of geoliteracy in our society, something that we promote aggressively. We do this in partnership also with National Geographic Society and American Association of Geographers and others. We actually have now thousands of schools that have our tools and are working on it. But they need some help. You'll see later today a teacher who is just an incredible guy who has been mentored by GIS people. And I'd like to invite you to join National Geographic's program of becoming a geomentor, getting involved in the classroom, adopting a teacher, adopting a classroom, and, you know, have a life. It's fun. GIS Day will be in November 14th this year. I encourage you to have an open house to not only get engaged with kids, but open up to the rest of your community and share the incredible work that you do. Our world is changing, well, rapidly. It's challenging almost everything we do and what we have done in the past. Geography remains our best platform for understanding the world. And GIS has made it come alive. Your work has made that come alive. Today, GIS is at a major turning point. It's capable of broadening the reach. We've been showing you some of the technology, and after the break, we'll see lots more. It's going to enable pervasive adoption of your work, of its integration into almost all work. This vision will require, of course, the technology. That's easy. But it'll also require GIS professionals, you, actually embracing this and leveraging it. Embracing the capabilities and also learning this new culture of collaboration and sharing, like Jackie McClade has pioneered in Europe with the Environmental Organization. Victor Hugo once said, "Nothing in the world is so powerful as an idea whose time has come." And it's my sense that the time for pervasive geographic knowledge has come, don't you think? It's about time.